Macca's guides.
Welcome back, Macca here, Doom the Dark Ages 100% walkthrough. This is mission 10. At the very beginning of the mission, there are a couple of mission challenges to put your attention to. One of them is for destroying 2 gore nests, very easy, and then Fault Line is for affecting 25 demons using our somewhat newly found ground fissure Sheild Rune. So I'm going to pin that to the side of the screen, but basically all you'll want to do is parry some attacks. As you parry the surges, you'll return the parryable attacks back at the enemies, causing the fissure in the ground, and stunning those enemies will get you 1 point of progress towards that fault line. You can grind out all of that mission challenge here right at the beginning, but it's not immediately necessary. All you'll want to do at the beginning area here is take out all of the enemies. There will be a new weapon that we unlock here, and there are also the weapon challenges for the Masteries you can work on if you didn't get them done in the last mission. This is a pretty long mission, so plenty of opportunity to work on mission challenges and the works, but there is a drop pod. We're going to temporarily ignore it. On the kind of opposite side from that drop pod, which is near the exit, we can find this small kind of outer ring where we can throw our shield up to a grapple point, grapple across, do a quick sprint jump up to a couple of pieces of gold, as well as a life sigil in a secret area. We'll then pick up the rocket launcher in front of us, and once we do pick up the rocket launcher, we will have a rocket launcher specific mission challenge that adds itself to the menu. Even though these are not always obvious, I'll be making sure to check in on them when possible. Once I do have the rocket, it works in the same slot as the grenade launcher. It deals a ton of damage, but the rockets travel very slowly, and they also cause damage to yourself should you be in the blast radius. For the Rocket Man mission challenge, what we'll need to do is hit a total of 5 demons with our rocket as it hits. So basically, we're just going to find large groups of enemies to use our newly acquired rocket launcher on. And if you hit multiple enemies at the same time using the blast radius, you'll make pretty easy progress towards Rocket Man. There's actually not that many groups of enemies later on, so it's really advantageous to just get the challenge done immediately as the level starts. You can get 3 at the beginning, and then another 2 as soon as you get through the gate. Take out the 3 Mancubus, and then we are in an open world area for the rest of the mission. Definitely one of the larger missions in terms of game length, but actually probably one of my favorite open world missions thus far. There are a ton of collectibles on the map, as well as a secret key, but we're going to worry about most of that stuff later. Instead, just equip the weapons you want to be working towards, and what we'll do is we will start working around the map counterclockwise, meaning we're going to take an immediate right-hand turn from where we started. Head towards the objective on the right-hand side of the map. As you come underneath this kind of walkway, a couple of enemies will spawn in front of us. You will see me use my Shredder a little bit more in this mission because it's the next weapon I plan on mastering once we do get a Wraithstone later on in the mission. Keep working on those fault line mission challenges by getting in some parries, but immediately after climbing the wall, take a look to the right-hand side to find a Sentinel Shrine inside of the cave. You can interact with the Sentinel Shrine here. I'm going to make a couple of quick upgrades, and the ones I'm going to pick are to the rocket launcher. This will cost me 250 gold for the time being, and I'm just going to save my rubies for later. Continue past the Sentinel Shrine, and you'll notice that there is a spiky platform that tries to smush you to the ground. Wait for it to smush itself to the ground, ride it to the top like an elevator to find a secret area where you can grab a ruby. Once you grab the ruby, ride the little spiky elevator platform back down. There is a whiplash enemy waiting for you near the bottom here, as well as another enemy. We're going to take care of those enemies, and in the next room, there are a couple of pieces of gold we can grab, as well as a door that will automatically open up as we approach it. And this door just links us back to the beginning of the mission, but we're going to pretty much ignore it as we have to go kind of back in the opposite direction we're facing now. Just make sure you grab all the little pieces of gold, open up the gate that links you back, just because you'll be right near it anyways. And then we'll head towards our mission marker to the right of the map. There's also a Codex page here that you should kind of automatically pick up as you are picking up the gold. So as we work our way towards the mission objective, you can do this mission very quickly. There's only two main objectives, but there's a lot of side content here, including bosses, gore nests, and a lot of other optional content. As you approach, there will be a leader. You'll use your parry attacks on the leader and make sure you take them out. You can take out all of the enemies that are around as well, just to kind of help you not have to worry about taking damage from all of these other sources. And this looks like the leader just because it's the enemy that's kind of directly in front of you as you spawn, but the leader is pretty much the last enemy I'll end up taking out. Now that I've taken out the leader, I will get the Demonic Essence upgrade for maximum armor, increasing that to 90. I have pretty significant progress towards the Fault Line mission challenge, but a lot of battles still to go to make more progress on that. Once I do take out all the enemies, the door will open to get to the top of the tower. Use the man cannon to get up there. Destroying the tower, a cutscene will play. You can skip the cutscene. And before we make our way to the next objective, let's go ahead and mop up. From where we landed after that tower, turn to the far right-hand side. I believe I do pull up a map here. We're going to go towards one of the two optional gore nests that we need to complete, not only because they are secret areas and they have rewards, but also because there is a mission challenge for completing them. So once you go down there, you'll find two mantleable walls. The secret area with the gore nest. Here you can shield charge your way through the gore nest to spawn the enemies. This one I found to be pretty easy and pretty quick, to be honest. There are a couple of Hell Knights. I believe there's a Whiplash and a Revenant, which you can hopefully make quick work of. Work on any mission challenges or armor weapon challenges you don't already have done. But as of right now, we don't have enough Wraithstones to really work on anything other than the first one we got. The final enemy in the Gore Nest will allow us to get the maximum skull ammo upgrade. So we now, I believe, are pretty much have all of the ammo types. We'll use the man cannon to get back towards the tower. If you face the tower and then turn around 180 degrees, you can find a gap that you can sprint jump across. If you don't make the jump like I did, it's okay. Take the ramp right next to it. And then if you're heading kind of towards the middle of the map using this ledge, you will end up at a paintbrush. That paintbrush is a collectible, which is a weapon skin. You may find a couple of gold chests and stuff along the way to our next objectives, but many of them are locked behind gates that are not possible to open up until later on. As you drop down from the weapon skin, take a look to your left and then go through the archway. There will be a bunch of tentacle arms in this area, as well as a shield enemy, which you'll have to overheat and then take out. There's also a ton of gold you can grab in groups of 3. There is one kind of trickier group of 3 gold. It's on top of the ledge where the shield enemy was at the beginning. You'll need a sprint jump in order to mantle up there to grab those extra 3 pieces. And then just make sure you grab all of the other pieces near the tentacle arms here along the bottom. You can just quickly sprint through if you don't want to take out the tentacle arms. There's a stack of 8 more gold as you exit, and then there will be more and more enemies as we leave here. So now that we are back kind of where we started at the beginning of the mission, we're going to head to the other side of the map by following our objective marker. So that gate to my left is the main gate we entered from. And we don't have a secret key or anything at the moment, and there is a tank as well, which I do a pretty terrible job at meleeing or parrying. But work your way underneath this kind of walkway. There will be a few enemies, and pretty much just pay attention to where our objective marker is pointing us. You may see a lot of cool enemies and cool things along the way. We're going to ignore all of those things for now as we work towards the mission marker. You'll end up dropping down into this pit. There will be a couple of enemies down in this pit. There'll also be a couple of like secret looking rooms that we can't interact with quite yet, but we will come back for when we are able to. You should have like very significant progress now towards the mission challenges for the parries, and all you'll really have left is the gore nests, I think, at this point. Watch out for this enemy. It does throw mines down, which are very easy to just walk in even after you take care of the enemy. And a mancubus does spawn at the very end. Once you take out all of the enemies, there is a grapple point near the top of this area. If you grapple to it, you'll be able to then also grab a life sigil. And I believe this counts as a secret area. And even though we don't need the life sigil, I want to make sure you have that 100%. We're then going to follow the mission marker. You may notice a secret door. We're going to ignore it temporarily before we grab the key. And here we'll have another leader. This leader requires us to break the morale. To do that, you're just going to take out as many of the enemies as possible around the leader. The leader won't take any damage until they are ready to, which is indicated by the purple bar underneath the red health bar. So take out all of the other enemies, then work on the final boss, and then here you'll unlock the large tower gate. Once the large tower gate unlocks, we can do our next main objective by disabling that tower. final enemy by this tower allows us to upgrade our maximum health to 150. Then you'll unlock the gate to the tower, and similar to the last one, use the man cannon to get to the top, and at the top you can use a shield charge to disable this tower. Once you disable this tower, you can technically just make like a beeline for the end of the mission, but at this point we're going to start mopping up all of the collectibles by starting off and grabbing the secret key, ignoring our main objective for the next while. Although you can, if you want, grab the Wraithstone in order to upgrade one of your weapons and start working on a mastery before you grab your secret key, but that's kind of optimizing it a little bit too much. What we're going to do is we're going to exit from this arena area the same way we came in, but this time we're going to end up finding a climbable wall on our right-hand side, and we're going to climb up it. I will show you on the map exactly where I am. You should see a lot more collectibles on my map than you will on your map if you've been following along. I do a lot of exploring in these videos before I film them just to triple check things. But you'll end up at this tower, and this tower has your secret key. I was a little bit tricked out by this tower because I didn't see this grapple point. So you'll find a grapple point near the tower and grapple up. As you are here, I would highly recommend equipping your super shotgun. Then you'll be able to use your balcony to break open a metal latch, follow the pieces of gold into the next balcony. I believe you will get attacked by an enemy here, which is why that super shield, or super shotgun rather, was so useful. We can make quick work of it. Then you can end up on the other balcony, jump diagonally across to the climbable wall. Once you climb up to the top of the wall, go to the right-hand side. At the end of the hall, you'll find a gold chest, 50 gold, and a secret area from here. And then we can go to the other balcony on the left side of where we climbed up in order to drop down the tower. Once we drop down the tower, we'll land directly on the secret key, which we can now use to open up all of the secret key doors. I think there's 3 of them. And once we do that, the gate will open up and there will be a battle directly in front of us on this bridge. Let's go ahead and work on those enemies. After taking out the enemies while standing on the bridge, you can look at the tower and then turn around looking behind you, exiting the bridge we used, and at the end of the bridge, drop down to the right-hand side. You'll then find another ledge you can drop down on your right-hand side. You'll end up underneath the bridge we were just on in front of that tower. Here you'll be able to get completely underneath that bridge, and around the corner there will be a few enemies. Watch out, this enemy likes to spit mines out before you can take it out, which can quickly take out all of your armor and health. There will be a few pieces of gold that you can grab, a latch you can open up. As you open up that latch, go into the next area, and that's all you really have to worry about underneath the bridge. Climb up the wall on your left-hand side, and now you can work your way towards where we see that there is a secret key door. I'm going to ignore that secret key door just temporarily. While looking at that secret key door, you can go to the right-hand side of it, and you'll see a floating island with a portal off in the distance. So we are going to go to this floating island by dropping down, revealing a man cannoning across to our secret area collectible, picking it up, which this one is going to be a toy cyber demon. Go through the portal, teleport yourself back to the secret key door, and here out front you'll notice that there's a ruby we can't collect until we head inside using our newly found secret key. This is our second optional gore nest. Melee it in order to start a boss battle, and you can just work on all of the enemies here. There will be an Aragon, I believe that's the name if I'm remembering it correctly, at the end of this battle. I highly recommend staying as close as possible to it and using your chain shot. That's kind of the best strategy in my opinion. If you find yourself gaining too much distance from that enemy, they'll shield up and just continually attack you. Now that this gore nest is taken out, I believe the mission challenge for destroying 2 gore nests should also be completed, although it doesn't show up on screen at the end of the battle. I think it actually shows up at the beginning of the battle. Either way, you'll have it done if you're following along. You can't get all the collectibles without getting all of the gore nests. As you exit out, don't forget to grab your ruby on the way out. And then as you leave from that secret door, just head directly forward through the archway on your left. You'll end up going back towards the second tower that we did. As we come towards that second tower, turn to the right-hand side as you go outside. Here you'll find another gate that we can open using our secret key. As we open up this gate, more enemies inside a secret area also. We'll make quick work of the enemies, but please watch out for all of the flame traps littered around this area. Once all of the enemies are taken out, make sure you grab the stack of 8 gold in the corner and then follow all of the little pieces of gold to exit out. Before you exit out, make sure you grab the ruby on the left-hand side nearest the door. Now that we have, I think, all of the rubies for this mission, don't quote me on that, but I'm fairly certain, we can now work back towards that second tower that we disabled. And from this second tower, you can find a man cannon that will shoot you back towards the center of the map. You don't have to take this man cannon, it is just a decent shortcut. It'll land you on a balcony not far from the center of the map. And on this balcony, there is a chest with 50 gold. We're going to grab that chest, and then we'll mantle up the wall right next to it. Instead of working towards the progress of the mission, as you exit, look slightly to your right-hand side, and you'll find this platform. Here, you'll be able to go up some stairs, and at the end of the staircase and end of the walkway, you'll find another secret key door. Open up this secret key door. Around the corner, there are a couple of enemies, but we'll grab our secret area once we're here. We'll take care of the enemies, and after we do that, we'll grab all of the gold. There's a couple of rock imps as well. Grab all of the gold, including the kind of extra little 3 pieces on the left. There's a Codex page at the end. This one's called Prince Azrak, and then you'll link back to the center. From the center, walk towards your main objective marker, and there will be a sentinel shrine in the very center of the map. As you approach, there will be a few enemies. We'll take those out as quickly as we can. Once we take out these enemies, you can use the sentinel shrine. I'm going to use the sentinel shrine in about a minute and a half. So instead of using it, I'm going to go straight to the objective, which is directly in front of me here. There is a nearby Wraithstone, which is something we really want because we're going to need pretty much all of them in the game if we want to be able to get 100%. But once you enter into this area, a couple of enemies will attack you. I highly recommend grabbing the little spider guys, as they like to throw mines, and the mines are one of the only things that honestly kills me in this game. I, for some reason, literally don't see them when they're on the ground. I just step all over them. So take out all of the enemies as quickly as you can. Once you do, all of the shields in the area will drop. Once the shields in the area will drop, we can pick everything up. Now, I think the game kind of forces you to pick things up in a certain order. So what we'll do as soon as we're able to is pick up the mission objective, which is the Atlas core. If you are paying attention to the story, our goal here is to find a core that we can use to repair the Atlas for the next mission. So grab the Atlas core, and I believe a cutscene will play, which if you've been following the walkthrough, you know that we will quickly skip in the effort of saving time. And as soon as you grab the core, on your way out, make sure you grab the Wraithstone, which is no longer protected by a shield. So the Wraithstone, again, very useful. It allows us to get the final upgrade for a weapon and then work towards that weapon's mastery. Now, don't interact with the Sentinel Shrine just yet. Please practice a little bit of patience with me here. From the Sentinel Shrine, while looking at it, drop down behind the Sentinel Shrine. There is a small little path. At the end of the path, you'll have a secret area and a life sigil. Again, we want to grab these just so that we have 100% completion, even if we don't need the life sigil. Now, feel welcome to go back to the Sentinel Shrine. I'm going to use my Wraithstone on the Shredder upgrade, and the Mastery challenge is to kill 100 enemies using the secondary pincushion or ricochet damage. So you're going to use the Shredder, fill an enemy until it's glowing yellow. Then you can use your shield on that enemy to basically explode them. That is the pincushion ability, and as they explode, they can damage nearby enemies. We're going to have to damage 100 demons, basically using that secondary attack with our shield and our shredder. So that's something I'm going to start working on pretty much instantaneously. I think the shredder is probably one of the kind of longer weapons in order to do the mastery because of it burning through so much ammo so quickly. So when possible, use your shredder to fill enemies until they are glowing yellow. Use your shield to pop the enemies, damaging nearby enemies in order to work on that mastery. You should also have all of the mission challenges as well, and take out all of the enemies until this battle ends. As you defeat the final enemy here, the gates will open up, and we're pretty much ready now to complete the mission. From where we're standing at the very beginning of the mission, you can now walk up the Atlas. If you do a quick check, you should have pretty much everything done except for 50 more gold, which is this chest right here. You may have been wondering how you get it. You can't get it until the very end of the mission, and once you grab it, you can climb up the wall towards the end of the mission, which is a obviously point of no return. Just open up your auto map, make sure you're at 10 out of 10 secrets, 4 to 4 collectibles, 230 gold, 3 rubies, and the Wraithstone, importantly, and then you can complete the chapter, and you're as good as done. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, comment, share, subscribe, share the video with a friend. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.